What's going on, everyone? This is Real Deal Sports. The usual guys, myself. We got Big John with the DMX. And we got Walt with the Cleveland gear after his Browns. No, let me stop.
I'm about to say, so you gonna start right now? You
We're
already
on the
starting.
basketball season. It's
He already
basketball
started.
season for Walt. It's basketball
All right,
season.
yeah.
It's cool.
Hey,
It's cool.
Hey,
Hey,
that's a
I
real
got a lot to
question.
say. I got a lot to say.
Hey, that's a real question though. That's not for this episode, but like, think if LeBron goes back to the Cavs right now, are they better? Are they better or favorites than the Lakers?
They definitely going to the finals.
with
And,
LeBron.
and you know what?
Anyway,
And
not
I'm
this
put Charles.
episode.
You guarantee it.
Not this episode though. Not this
Okay,
episode.
Charles. All right, Charles Barkley. I see you. That boy guarantee everything. Mr. Antonio Brown, aka AB, aka Mr. Business is booming. But we have an advocate. John has been an advocate for him for a while. John, the floor is yours. What happened on Sunday?
Okay, my take on him has always been: let's not let the NFL distract from how corrupt and dirty they are and make one employee look bad, right? This is the company that's dumping chemicals in the water while trying to while trying to make everyone be like, "Lo, look at the employee who's stealing pins." You know what I mean? So my take on him has always been: let's start with when he was in Pittsburgh, right? All right, fine. We're celebrating this guy last night who beat the Browns, his last night in Heinz Field, all that stuff. Look at his record. Way worse than AB's when they were criticizing him in Pittsburgh. I'm just saying, way worse. The things he's done. At that point, AB had complained about a helmet, had live streamed a conversation in the locker room, he had a few other things where he called out Big Ben and stuff in the media. Up to that point, and that's when he took off in the news, all that stuff. Meanwhile, under center, you got the two-time, and not the rings. I'm talking about the two-time assault charge under center. So you got to keep that in perspective. Then he goes to Raiders, and the Raiders criticize him because he ain't showing up to practice. Well, he wasn't showing up to practice because he wasn't allowed to show up to practice because he wouldn't wear the helmet. All right? There was still the helmet issue.
A 10-year-old helmet. Got it.
Meanwhile, Richie Incognito is playing and starting on that team, who, by the way, had several charges against him for racial phone calls, messages, things he'd left on previous teammates who, by the way, were contemplating suicide and stuff like that over the things he said. All right. That guy's still on the team. Oh, and you say, oh, well, that was years before. He moved on. No, that same summer that AB was complaining about helmet, Richie Incognito stayed out of the news, even though he pulled a gun at a funeral home and threatened to shoot the place up. He was still on the Raiders. He was on the Raiders when AB was on the Raiders. He goes to the Patriots. All right, this is where the real charges come in, right? AB is getting criticized because now he's got real charges. A trainer made an accusation against him. But the owner of the team was just caught last year at some place in Florida, flying down and at some prostitution place, whatever. The owner, Kraft, was just got arrested for that. Patrick Chung had literally just got arrested on a cocaine charge. Like, all these teams that were like, this guy, he's bad, all this stuff, were overlooking a whole bunch of other stuff that never hit the news. What was the difference between AB and all those other guys? AB was critical of the NFL. Le'Veon Bell was critical of the NFL. And what they said, you go play for the Jets. Odell Beckham, you want to criticize the NFL? Go play for the Browns. Now, the Browns are legit now, but at the time they were not. When he went to the Raiders, when AB got sent to the Raiders, they were not legit. And in my posts, I've always been said, listen, Mike Wallace got kicked out by Ben Roethlisberger because he trashed the team, because he called out Ben Roethlisberger. AB got kicked out for that. And I said the same thing. I said, Juju, be careful what you say about AB ever, because you do one thing wrong, he will slander your name and he will find another receiver. And what happened? He said,
Big Ben. You mean Big Ben?
Yeah, Big Ben. And Big Ben said, I will force feed Chase Claypool balls. I don't care how many he drops. I will not give Juju the ball this year. And he does this every stinking year. The only reason people like Hines Ward are successful with Big Ben is because they keep their mouth shut. And you know what I mean? Like, you can't have a personality around Big Ben. So that's my thing, is the NFL has always trashed players who are critical of the NFL. And I'm not saying these are above board people, but I'm just saying we're talking about this is the company dumping chemicals in the water, and they're trying to make everyone not see that by being like, yo, look at that guy over there stealing pins from the company. Now, so I've never said AB was innocent, but this week, AB, now we know he got fired. He got fired on the field.
No, wait. We're not talking about what happened after. What happened to make him walk off the field in the middle of the game?
In the middle of the game.
So this is why I'm no longer defending him, and it's the same reason I don't defend Kawhi Leonard. These guys were cleared by medical. They were cleared by everybody. They looked at him and said, look, man, the guy's clear to play. Like, I'm not saying he's not hurt, but we're not seeing it. And then for AB to be like, my ankle was tweaking, I'll be like, you know what? Fine. You know what? Let's just say it is. Let's say the trainer's wrong. That dude did jumping jacks, flips, backflip, everything leaving the field. So I'm sitting here saying, nah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, because if you limped off the field, I would have bought the whole thing. I would have bought the whole thing, hook, line, and sinker. The fact that you was doing that, I'm sorry, you Kawhi Leonard yourself the way out of there. Like, no.
And then he jogged to the locker room afterwards.
Yeah, so that's why I am not defending him this week. That being said, the NFL is still worse.
One more thing, why he do all that and still ain't have a ride to get home?
I mean, maybe he don't got hookups in New York. Who knows? I don't know.
But ain't that something you think about before you do what you do?
Right. I mean,
I don't
think
he knew he was leaving.
The moment. The moment. Don't get me wrong.
No. All right, this is what I'm saying.
It's not like he planned it.
No. Wait, listen. We all go out, right? Let's say hypothetically, I drive, Walt gets into it with me and you, right? Walt storms out, we leave. Whose fault is it that he don't have a ride home?
Mine.
Exactly. These are things you should think about before you start. I don't even know what to call it. Temper tantrum.
It's definitely a temper tantrum.
He's a character. I don't think he thinks through a lot of stuff. Listen, it is what it is. He clearly doesn't think through everything, but I'm just saying, like, the only reason I'm not buying it this time is because the way he went out. Like, I'm like, man, I'm telling you, like, I'm not buying the ankle thing. I'm sorry. It wasn't that bad. And by the way, I wish this all hadn't happened, because that was one of the best button hooks I've ever seen in my life. He ran earlier that game.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, I've never seen literally just to say, all right, you're going to run up and turn around, and to break a dude's ankles 3 times on the same play on a button hook. I'm like, that's insane. But
all right, go ahead, Walt. What you got?
I mean, honestly,
matter of fact, what's your take on this situation? I'm sorry.
My take on this situation is the fact that AB is just acting out again. Like, you have had multiple chances in the NFL, more than anybody I've ever seen in NFL history, man. You have went to Pittsburgh, the Raiders, the Patriots, and Bucks with Tom Brady. Like, how can you mess that up when you are with one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now? And it's like,
and he vouched for you.
And he vouched for you multiple times. He even let the man stay in his house, man.
The head coach didn't want him.
Didn't want him at all. So it's just the fact that, like, bro, the fact that you keep acting out and you have somebody of that top tier trying to vouch for you, bro, like, you just need to learn how to have self-discipline, I feel like. And he just don't. All he care about is self. He don't care about the team. He don't care about nobody but AB. Like, he had this outburst. If he would have chilled out, he could have got another $1 million in incentives and bonuses. I mean, all his like.
Brady will make sure his guys get it.
And Brady would have made sure he got it too. I'm glad you brought that up. So look, he only needed 55 more receiving yards, one more touchdown and 8 more receptions to get $1 million bonus
in a game and a half. He had a game and a half to do it on.
In a game and a half to do it. He could have did it.
He
and
would
you
have
missing out on $1 million just because it's like I don't know if the guy has mental health issues or if he just wanted to get off the Bucks or whatever he wanted to do.
But if you get fired, how you going out? That's how I'm going out. That's all I'm saying.
But why would you want to get fired though? But that's what I'm saying. Why would you not want to?
They literally said Arians told him you're off the team. He didn't say
he cut him off. Arians.
He said get out, but now it's come out that no, he told him like you're done, you're out, like you're done.
I did read that he cut him right there on the sideline. Right there on the sideline.
And that's why he reacted that way because he said, "All right, fine, I'm out." Like
I mean, that's why I say, is it somewhat on Bruce Arians' part as well, just for them, kind of taking it that far, just because he said he didn't want to go in though? Like, I mean, but at the same time, I feel like he still shouldn't have had that type of outburst just for something so simple, man. Like, I think really
Bruce
feel like
Arians
the dude
stuck his neck out for him. He didn't want to. Bruce Arians did it for Brady, but I think he stuck his neck out for him, and then I think he felt like I can't speak for him, so that's not fair, but there's a part of him I felt like AB owed him something. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I put my neck on line, my reputation on line for you, and I didn't even want you here. Brady wanted you here. So I did all this, and you know what I mean? You're not going to disrespect me on, whatever. Because like I said, I don't think he believed him about the ankle. I think he literally thought he was having an attitude and just didn't want to go out. And, and AB was now saying, oh, it's the ankle. But I'm sorry, I saw him run off the field, man. I ain't buying it.
I mean, I just feel like he's just a straight waste of talent, bro. Like, you got all that talent and you doing all this complaining and doing all this.
And I was thinking
words I can't say, but it's just insane how talented that dude is, man. You can't imagine how many people would imagine to be in his shoes right now. But the fact that you acting out like this, bro, it's just like you setting bad examples, man. And it's just
and he only got this opportunity because he's one of the most talented receiver, top 5 receiver of all time, possibly, arguably. I mean, I think if he had, without all these suspensions, without all these sitting out, all these games, all this stuff, he had the shot to go for. He's probably the only receiver who ever had the shot to go for some of Jerry Rice's records. You know what I mean? Like he was close. He was the numbers he was putting up every year were insane. And Big Ben was force feeding the ball back in the day too. I mean, he was, man. He was a fantasy, like, just you could go to him every week, it just
most of them was really.
But
if you could get both of them on your team, you probably won a couple champions.
I will say one of the things is we live in an era where there's cameras everywhere, because I guarantee you, if we had seen everything Dennis Rodman ever did, people would be saying the same things about him. And so I think, but that's not fair, because actually most of AB's issues he filmed himself, so doesn't even really count.
Most of AB's problems he did himself.
Right, but he filmed them himself.
All of his problems.
And that's another thing. He always saying that the media is trying to bring drama his way. Like, no, bro, you're bringing the drama to yourself. Like,
if he hadn't filmed himself doing half these things, this never would have come to this. You know what I mean? This would have been like, oh my goodness, he's crazy, like whatever. But like the fact that he's done so many other things, because you can hear something, but when you see it, it's like, oh no, he did that. All right, whatever. And I mean, he films himself fighting with his baby mama on IG Live. He goes on Facebook Live with his team locker. He just half things he did, he filmed himself. And it's like, you know what? I was gonna say, like, there's a lot of cameras everywhere, but no, you did this to yourself, man. Like, but I lost a little bit of respect for not respect. That's not fair to say, but when a guy is cleared and his teammates are pushing him, like, listen, man, to play, and we know you're not hurt that bad. Everyone's hurt in the NFL, man. Like, and we saw you, man. Your ankle wasn't that bad. That's my biggest takeaway. The way he left the game, I wasn't even mad at that. It's the fact that, like, this dude was gonna try to use an ankle just because he was having an attitude and didn't want to go in the game, and I don't buying it.
And then another thing, you doing this at the most critical time of the Bucs season right now, when they down Mike Evans and Godwin. You feel me? So it's like now Brady his only weapon.
He played Sunday.
Oh,
Hey, man.
okay. Well,
About
I
the
thought he was still out with the
hamstring, but
hamstring, right? I thought
no,
okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's still lingering, but it's like we ain't
It's
got
gonna be
nobody else. I gotta
But
play.
I'm just saying that it's a critical time for the Bucks right now, and it's like, bro, this is about to be playoff time, and you want to act out like this when you when they got another chance to win another title, bro. That's what I'm saying.
it's a talk
It's
for
tough to see, man.
it's a talk for another year. But I'm starting to believe that when he's healthy, Chris Godwin might be one of the top 3 receivers in this league at this point. Like when you watch him when he's healthy, I know he's on a team where he doesn't get all the targets because he's on crazy, but he still gets that. Watch that dude play, man. When he's healthy, but that's a talk for another season. I'm excited for him to come back.
And
But
you know
speaking of, you got something else to say about this?
It's funny that people be like, "Oh, he didn't get his incentives. He's trying to meet his incentives." If you would have had a vaccination and not a fake one, you would have been met these incentives.
Yeah.
This is his problem. And you know who outed him? The same chef that he owed money to.
And that's the thing too, is he owed money to a lot of people in his past that he never paid.
But my thing is, the chef was probably like, he can't be this dumb. You want me to help you get some illegal and you already owe me money to begin with? Of course I'm going to out you. You didn't pay up.
That's still snitching in my book. But yeah, I agree. Like, you got to get your money, man. Go get your money, whatever.
And it ain't like no small $2,500. Like, come on, bro.
I already owed him like 10,000. But yeah, he owed some like moving company.
That's even worse.
He stiffed on the bill. Yeah.
You got all this money, all this business is booming, all that. Pay your debt, dude.
Mr. Kyrie Irving, best handles in the league. Possibly.
That's another crazy situation. It's like he didn't.
Hey, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all really think do you think they just letting him come back because they down bodies?
I think they down bodies and they know they need him to build some kind of rapport with KD and James Harden before the playoffs. And I think coming back now, you kind of get the ball rolling a little.
So this might be kind of like thinking a little further ahead, though. So, like, come time if they do make the playoffs, is he only going to be allowed to still play the away games?
Or it depends. I think if they play the Knicks, he might have to sit out that whole series.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of it's just this whole situation is just kind of weird to me because you don't know how that stuff is gonna play out in the future. Like I said, like that type of situation like that. So that's what I was just kind of like leading up to.
But I think KD and James Harden might be like we down for him, all that. But I think low key and them group texts, things like that, they're like, hey, we need you to go ahead and get that immediately.
I'm excited to see him come back. I'm excited to see ankles get broken in the league again, man. The only time you see people breaking ankles anymore is people they do a cross and then shove the defender as they go by. Listen, I want to see some real crossovers, man. That's something that's really missing from the league. Like
he gonna take ankles and
that's what I'm saying. Who's to say he gonna still be that same elite
when he
first come back?
It's Kyrie, man. He's 29. He got a good work ethic. I've never doubted Kyrie.
AD 28.
His leadership abilities.
Hold on. Did he
leadership
play in the playoffs last year?
Who, Kyrie?
He
was hurt.
No, yeah, and then the year before he sat out. Like the year before,
because
KD was hurt, and Kyrie decided he wasn't coming back.
No, because the reason I'm asking is because Walt might have a point. He might be a little rusty. He ain't played in the NBA game since May.
I agree. He might be rusty for Kyrie, though. Like, it's not like he's going to be rusty compared to, like, half the point guards in the league. He's still Kyrie Irving. Like I said, I've always questioned his leadership abilities, but
he don't have any.
His one-on-one ball handling is something that we just don't get every day. Maybe Chris Paul, maybe Steph Curry. Other than that, it's not very many.
Wouldn't the leader take the vaccination? Just saying.
No, he's being a leader. He's being a leader by not taking it.
Wow.
How?
He's leading his own group. He shall prevail.
You thinking
And you
about
know what's
yourself.
funny? You know what's funny? When that story first came out, I know a lot of people on my timeline talking about, Kyrie ain't bowing down to the government, all that. I'm like, you idiot. He's still getting 17 mil to sit at home.
Right.
But
If you don't take the vaccine, you're out of a job.
No, him and Ben Simmons are still getting fined like $350,000 a game though for every game they sit.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they ain't tripping.
If
he getting 17 mil, they probably taking that out with his taxes and they just give him the rest.
I agree, but I'm just saying him and Ben Simmons have been 80% of the fines this year have been against Ben Simmons and Kyrie. Like it's like almost $18 million they've been fined.
But that's on them though.
Right, but I'm just saying
that decision.
Yeah, but again, those are decisions they got to live with, and they're okay with the decision they made. One of them made him for a personal physical body choice. The other one said he ain't playing with that team no more. It's whether it's right or wrong, like they made the decision, they gotta live with it. I respect it. It's they ain't hurting nobody. But that being said, can he change this around? Because the Nets are in a slump right now.
I think,
3-game losing streak.
Come on, man. You got Kevin Durant and James Harden. I
agree. I don't think it makes a huge difference.
Everybody goes through something. It's an 82 game season. Everybody looks bad at one point.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure the Bucks last year, people was like, I don't know if they can do it. Bucks got in the playoffs. Giannis got hurt, came back. They ended up being champs.
Yeah, Bucks were 7-5 at one point.
Were they last year?
Yeah, rattled off 4 straight, went 11-5. Yeah.
Oh wow! But I think of course he's gonna help.
Chiefs were 3-4 at one point.
Who?
Chiefs this year were 3-4 or something like that.
Oh yeah. People thought they had figured out Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
People thought, but I think they're still gonna be top 3. They're still. The thing is, man, you still got to beat Kevin Durant 4 times. Not many people have been able to do it.
Yeah, LeBron.
Let's still gotta watch out for LeBron, man. It ain't KD in there, man.
we're gonna save it for
LeBron in the West, man. They ain't meeting until they get to the finals.
We're gonna save it for the next show, but the big one, man, is Klay Thompson. Everyone's excited for Klay Thompson to get back. It's unbelievable that how long he's been gone. Hopefully, it sounded like maybe he'll be back by Sunday, but we'll see. They keep moving it, but let's get back to the Browns and then what they could possibly do to get back on track next year, but also what you saw from this game.
The thing about the Browns, I know this is Walt's team. They need a receiver, man. Jarvis Landry, he was great in Miami, but he's a number 2 receiver at best. Let's just be honest.
I mean, they had Beckham, and clearly they couldn't do something with him that the Rams were able to do.
I think the thing is with him and Baker, they just couldn't get on the same page. They were both, Odell was here, Baker was here. Baker tried to get there, but it's like, bro, no. Just play quarterback. You got all these weapons. You got Njoku. You got Hooper. You had Odell and Jarvis. You got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. There's no reason why you shouldn't at least be 8-8. Or now 9-8, 8-9. And then the thing I couldn't figure out last night, you went away from Nick Chubb. You got Dearness Johnson in the game. What are you doing?
I was just about to say, whenever y'all can let me go, I got a little, and just honestly, look,
he's got insider information.
No, it's not even insider information, man. It's just from me watching all the games this year, man. It's just I have been blaming Baker this whole year, but like I said, the only reason I've been blaming Baker is because of the fact of he got injured. I want to say that was like week 3 or 4. And that's when he tore his shoulder, which I feel like he should have went out then, to get his surgery instead of doing it now, because I just felt like this whole season he's been hurting us instead of actually helping us. Because I respect him for trying to be tough, but at the same time, bro, you've been hurting us all year ever since you got hurt. But like I said, it hasn't just been on Baker though, because all those names that you just said, Austin Hooper, Ajoku, Jarvis, you didn't even put Donovan Peoples-Jones in there. All of our receivers are supposed to be, I won't even say top tier receivers, but they're supposed to be able to catch the ball. They haven't been able to catch the damn ball this year at all. When Baker puts it there, they haven't been able to catch the ball, bro, and that's been a problem, especially on crucial downs on the 3rd and 4th down. So that's also been a problem as well. And like you also said, we stopped feeding Chubb.
Yep.
3 weeks. Stats for you. Yesterday, Chubb only had 58 yards for 12 attempts. The week before, Chubb had I'm sorry, hold on, I lost. Oh, Chubb had 17 attempts and only 59 yards. And in the game against the Packers, he had 1 touchdown and I think he had like 94 yards. But why do we keep going away from Chubb when the games are close? I just don't get that. And I feel like that's not on Baker. That's on the coaching staff, head coach, offensive coordinators.
But it does seem like it's almost like when Nick Chubb is not in the game, you know they're passing.
Right.
So
I understand that. And that was another thing I didn't get of why Nick Chubb was out I think it was that 2 drives or 2 or 3 drives. And then that's when they had Dearness Johnson in trying to run the ball while Chubb's sitting there chilling with an orange coat on his back. And he's not hurt. So I feel like I can't blame that. I can't put that on Baker. I got to put that on the coaching staff as well. So I feel like this season was definitely a big disappointment. It's not all on Baker as much as I've been putting it on Baker. It's definitely on Stefanski and it's on the coaching staff as well, man. Because there should be no way that Chubb is only averaging 59 yards or less in a game, man, at all.
I'm looking at the Packers game. He had 17 carries for 126 yards.
Okay, my bad. I thought it was 94
yards.
No,
so. But I'm just saying, 17 carries for 126 yards. Dude's averaging 7.5 yards a carry. Like, if you're averaging 7.5 yards a carry, you should be getting 25, 30 carries.
And I'm glad you brought that up.
Because the quarterback threw 4 interceptions that game. It wasn't like the quarterback was balling out.
I was just about to say, I'm glad you brought that up because they even had a chance at the end of the game. Now,
and then they
do say that was a PI call. Well, they lost by 2. They lost by 2. And they had a chance at the end of the game, but I think we were on the Packers. I want to say we were on the Packers 45, and we threw the ball 3 straight times. And John just said Nick Chubb had 126 yards. Well, and we did not run the ball at all. But we were at the Packers 45.
I'm not even talking about Nick Chubb. Dearness Johnson had 4 carries for 58 yards. 14.5 yards a carry. Anthony Schwartz, 2 carries, 24 yards, 12 yards a carry. Baker Mayfield, 2 carries, 11 yards, 5.5 yards a carry. Literally, this team had over 200-something yards on like 21, 22 carries. That's almost 10 yards a carry. And you throw it 36 times in a 2-point game?
In a 2-point game. At the 45, bro. And you threw the ball 3 straight times. I'm not even saying give it to Chubb.
I'm saying give it to somebody. Y'all can run. If Kareem Hunt could come in there on a bad leg and still play and get like 4.5 yards a carry. That team can run the ball. That's one of the reasons people were okay with OBJ and Landry and Njoku not getting the targets last year. Because listen, we can run on anybody anytime. But now, if you're not going to run, then you got to hit your targets and not hitting the targets. So you got to go back to running. And that's the thing is the receivers realize he can't hit his targets. And so they want it out. Maybe it's because he's hurt. That's debatable. But the team can run and they're not running. That's on the coach.
And another thing, man, you got to do something because that defense they have, that defense is legit. Good. You got Clowney, Garrett. That's That's your 2 DNs.
I don't even think
Allen
Clowney gonna be there
Garrett.
next year. I'll be honest with you.
Hold on, not done yet. Hold on. Then you got Greedy Williams, Ohio State own Denzel Ward. Then you got Dale Pitt from LSU. They say he was a steal in the draft. Then you got, I want to say, a nickel corner and a safety that you stole from the Rams last year.
John Johnson and
So it's like,
Ronnie Harrison.
yeah, no, right?
John Johnson the third.
Johnson is one. I don't know who the other guy is, but long story short, you have honestly, you're in a win now situation. Because I mean, just as talented as the Rams.
Because the Bengals are getting better. The Ravens will probably be better when Lamar gets back. You know,
I think the thing about the Ravens, you got to stop running Lamar so much, bro.
Well, we agree with that. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You got to figure it out. If you got to have a 3 running back system to where he's not taking that punishment, because I've watched some games this year, he taking hits and he don't. You know, he's not one of them quarterbacks with all the rib cage and all that on him. Like, you gotta figure something out.
Joe Burrow got
into the ground.
Joe Burrow got rocked once last year, and he on a run, and he said, "I'm never getting hit again." He stopped sliding every time. Some guys just never learn.
They don't have a problem giving it to me.
And by the way, like last night when we saw Baker at the end of the game try to muscle his way for another yard when he.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that. Why are you trying to run over a corner?
Listen, it is what it is. At the end of the season, you should, whatever. I'm not gonna, but I'm just saying. But every play, you can't be doing that every play though. Like, you know what I mean? You're trying to show your team like, hey,
that play.
I know, but I'm just saying he's trying to show his team like, listen, I'm all in, whatever, all that. But I'm just saying like, but like, but even then, bro, even then he got stood up. Even then he got stood up. The defender stood over him like.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you unnecessarily taking it?
Only Ryan Tannehill can take down 300-pound linemen.
So my thing is, I've been asked this question today: is do I think Baker is going to be here next year with them picking up his extension? I think so, even though I feel like they should try to shoot for Watson or possibly Russell Wilson. But knowing the Browns, I'm pretty sure they're going to stick with Baker. And I don't know. I feel like they're going to stick with it, even though some say that might be his last game. But I feel like we still going to see Baker next year in the Browns.
I feel like they'll give him 1 year. It'll be like, look, bro, if you can't get it done this year, we're going to have to holler at you. Because we wasting talent. Njoku, not getting no younger. Hooper, not getting no younger. Hunt, Chubb, Garrett, Greedy Williams, Desmond Ward, Denzel Ward, my bad.
They were locking up their receivers one-on-one last night.
That's what I'm saying. You have the defense.
Which makes no sense why they couldn't stop the run, but still, like those guys were locking up Claypool one-on-one. Like they didn't even need help. So I don't know why they were having a hard time stopping the run. But yeah, I mean it was amazing watching their corners.
Just because you got a good secondary don't mean you can stop the run.
I agree, but they have a
good lineman ain't doing a job.
But I'm just saying, like if you can lock up and do one-on-one, then that extra help should be somewhere stopping the run.
It should be, but Malik Jackson.
But
he ain't what he was in Jacksonville.
I do believe that the Browns under the management, like I do believe that management there now is a little more serious than they were in the past. I do believe they're in a want to win mode. However, I do also think, right, like if you truly believe your guy was hurt and you saw what he could do last year, then maybe they believe he can do it again. I don't know. But I do think that if it's possible for them to go get Deshaun Watson, I do think that they go for him. I really do. I do. I think that this is not, this isn't the Texans or I don't know, whatever, the Jets or whatever, like the organizations that, just have a track record of just not the Lions, especially not caring really. I do think that right now their team cares a little more than they did a couple years ago. So we'll see if they believe in Baker or not. Like I said, and if they really think. But I think it comes down to the locker room. I think if there's a consensus around the locker room that they want him there and the guys want to play with Baker, I think they'll keep him. If there's a consensus in the locker that's like, man, I don't know, this guy's even on his good days.
When they let Odell go, there were some people in the locker room that weren't happy about Odell leaving. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, so I do think I do think the Browns care about winning, but yeah, I mean Joe Burrow's not going away. I think that might be his division for a little bit if they're not careful.
Y'all seen his dance though?
They dangerous.
Joe Burrow. You didn't see that? Oh my!
Him and Jamar Chase, man, they're gonna be fun to watch for years. I
feel like they're gonna make a meme out of that, man. I feel like that's my favorite dance right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He's loving it.
Man, that dude is a beast.
He has that mindset that all the Browns quarterbacks had when they came in on day one. You know what I mean? That Johnny Manziel attitude where they thought they were all that before they even threw a single pass.
And then, you know what's funny though?
Now he's got the attitude.
I was about to say he actually backing it up though.
But I'm saying he got it after he proved it. These guys just showed up with that attitude like they belong.
But just imagine if he ain't get hurt last year though. I mean, I feel like he could have did this last year too, for real. If he didn't get hurt, but
yeah.
I don't know, Joe Burrow. He gonna be scary, man.
Yeah. Ball.
We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. We will see you all next week. We appreciate you all.
Stay healthy.
This is Walt.
Stay healthy.
John, Nico. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Catch y'all next time.